Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles used the transmitter they received from one of the broken badniks to find where Eggman was hiding out. Eventually, they tracked him down to the oil desert zone.
Eggman, you got a lot to answer for. You three again? I was hoping Mecha Sonic would dispatch of you. Oh well, I guess I'll have to do it myself.
The Mad Doctor pressed a button on his Eggmobile, and suddenly, shards of metal began flying at the Eggmobile. It formed into a giant mechanized scrap monstrosity. That won't stop us, declared Sonic, before he, Knuckles, and Tails began assaulting the robot from all sides. Eggman put in a good fight, even getting in a couple good hits, but ultimately, the suit was made of scrap, and soon it was nothing but scrap.
This wasn't ideal, said Eggman under his breath. But at least I got some new bio data to plug into Mecha Sonic. Sayonara, suckers, Eggman said before the Eggmobile rocketed into the sky, with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles on the tornado in hot pursuit. As they flew in hot pursuit, the tornado got closer and closer to the Eggmobile, when suddenly a missile hit one of the wings. It was from Mecha Sonic's own flying machine. Why would he even have one of those things? Sonic, look! Emerging from the clouds was Eggman's latest mobile base, the Sky Fortress. Knuckles leaped off of the tornado and began to glide towards the air base. Seeing as the tornado was going to crash anyway, Tails decided to fly Sonic right behind Knuckles. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles chased down Eggman and his mecha monstrosity throughout the airbase before coming towards some escape pods. Eggman had activated the self-destruct sequence, attempting to get rid of the heroes. Luckily for our trio, there was one escape pod left, so even though it was a bit cramped, they were able to escape certain death and continue chasing down the Doctor. Where are we headed, Tails? It seems like we're headed towards Little Planet. Well then, time to take back the planet. But Little Planet was not the same place Sonic had left it all that time ago. Instead of being filled with flickies and lush green pastures, the planet was now terraformed and turned into Eggman's new Death Egg. Once getting out of the pod, the trio began to run through the cybernetic circuits of the base. Before long, they came across Eggman and Mecha Sonic, ready for another round. As much as I wish that you had met your end on the Sky Fortress, killing you here will be far more satisfying. Mecha Sonic, make your master proud.
Mecha Sonic flew at the heroes, with a significant upgrade in his speed, strength, and flight capabilities. Well, someone's been hitting the gym, Sonic quipped as he dodged Mecha Sonic's attack.
Do you have to be like this?
Knuckles retorted before suddenly being attacked by Mecha Sonic. As Knuckles recovered from the attack, he seemed more than happy to rip Mecha Sonic a new one. But before he got a chance, Sonic and Tails began attacking Mecha from the back. As Mecha Sonic turned around to attack his assailants, Knuckles hit him hard in the shin, forcing Mecha onto the ground. With the android on the ground, the heroes began to attack him. As they were hitting him from all sides, Mecha Sonic wasn't able to get up and was taking substantial damage. Then Mecha Sonic got an idea. It was a bit of a cheap tactic and not the victory he wanted, but he blasted a hole into the ground beneath him, escaping from the heroes. Before the heroes could pursue, Mecha Sonic appeared at the other side of the arena. The machine raised both its arms, forming a giant energy orb above him. The robot quickly slammed his fist down, forcing the energy ball to hit the heroes hard, not killing them, but doing a substantial amount of damage. As the heroes collapsed onto the cold metal floor, Mecha Sonic's engine suddenly shut down. Using that attack had drained all of his energy. Mecha Sonic laid on the ground. He slowly began to reboot, but Knuckles saw his opportunity. Knuckles slowly got off the ground and began to limp towards the robot. But that limp soon became a walk, and that walk soon became a sprint. As Knuckles ran at the machine, Mecha Sonic's system finally rebooted, and he raised his firing arm at Knuckles, but Knuckles simply grabbed it and ripped it off.
That one was for the Master Emerald.
Mecha recoiled in pain, but then attempted to punch the echidna. But Knuckles simply caught the punch and ripped that arm off as well. That one was for Angel Island. Mecha, seeing this as a losing battle, attempted to fly away, but Knuckles grabbed his heels, pulled him back onto the ground, and pinned him down.
And this one's for hurting my friends,
Knuckles said before gouging his fist into Mecha chest unit, ripping out several wires. Mecha began to spark and splutter before finally shutting down. Knuckles turned back to Sonic and Tails, helping them back to their feet. Good job, Knux. I learned from the best. The trio ran to the center of the Death Egg Mark II, where they found Eggman in a weaponized battle core.
You three have been a pain in my side all day. Now, prepare yourselves.
Eggman used his device to manipulate the gravity of Little Planet, but ultimately that only delayed the inevitable. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles joined forces to create one large spin dash and skewered through the heart of the device.
You fools! Without this device, the base will collapse.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea, Eggman. Come on, guys, let's go. Sonic stayed before running off with Tails and Knuckles close behind him. The trio jumped into the escape pod they used to get to the base and used it to return to the Mobius. High up in the distance, they could see the Eggmobile flying away from the Death Egg Mark II, with the remains of Mecha strapped to it. Guessing won't be the last time we see them. Yeah, we'll take them down just as easy next time. You did good out there, Knuckles. Yeah, I guess we did. Maybe we should do this more often. You know, I think you're right, Tails. From this point on, Knuckles would closely follow Sonic and Tails on their adventures, and the team's strength, power, and overall bond would become stronger than ever before. In an unknown location, Mecha is placed into a tube by Dr. Eggman.
You were meant to be my greatest creation, but instead you failed me yet again. Well, perhaps I should move on to other projects, and maybe one day I'll get around to restoring you. Until then, you'll remain a trophy in my collection, Mecha.
Eggman turned away as he began to leave the room.
Computer, set course for the planet Earth. I'm feeling a little homesick.
As the door slammed, the ground began to shake. Mecha could only assume that whichever lab he was in must be a part of one of the Doctor's egg carriers. As the ship took off, all Mecha could think about was how he was betrayed by the Doctor, how he was humiliated by that echidna, and how he would give anything to see them both suffer at his hands. But until his chance arose, he would have to wait. But he knew eventually, on one of Sonic's little adventures, he would get his chance.